Make sure you turn your volume all the way down.
It is.
Put your phone on silent.
It is always inside. Hi everybody, this is Darlene with Featherweight Doctor. Hi Lynn Crawford. Surprise, I'm doing an Instagram, Facebook, YouTube live. I thought I would go over my quilting quarantine tips that I just put out in my newsletter today. I have 7 of them. They're pretty exciting. I also have a family update. I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on. And then I thought I would give you guys a quick tutorial on adjusting your belt on your featherweight while I have y'all here. First of all, for our family, nothing has really changed for me these last couple weeks. I work at home. I'm kind of an introvert by nature. I really like being home, mostly alone, but my family's okay. I'm kind of fond of them. So we've been happy and healthy here, tucked in our home in the Pacific Northwest. We actually started our voluntary self-quarantine a few weeks before we were told to, just because we felt like it was a safe thing to do. A lot of my customers are of a sensitive age demographic, and I just want to make sure I'm taking absolute care of you guys and protecting you. So classes have been canceled, shows have been canceled. It's been kind of an interesting time. So Andy works for a computer software company, and he has been working from home. And my daughter Ray, who I also refer to quite a bit as the design assistant, she is in college, so all of her classes just moved online. So we've all been here under one roof, happy, healthy, driving each other a little crazy. Give me an amen. All right. So along with my time, we spent some time in North Idaho with some friends. We tucked up there for a few weeks in a remote location, and then came back for the lockdown so that we'd be home with our Wi-Fi, and I'd be home with all of my quilting machines. Sandy, hi Sandy from Florida. She says amen. Don't tell me if you want to hurt anybody. I need plausible deniability, okay? So I was going to show you some of the quilts that I've been working on. I have been fast and furiously quilting away, mostly finishing stuff, including a UFO that I've had in my kit and my studio for like 11 years. 11 years, people. And I lost the instruction years ago, so all I had was like the front cover that comes on the kit. It was quite a challenge, but I was going to show you guys what it looked like. So hang on, let me grab it. All right, so Darlene, 11 years ago, was really into Civil War reproductions. So this is a very large bed quilt that was made by Moda, and it was in honor of the Quilts for the Cause for the Alzheimer's. And my grandmother died of Alzheimer's, and so I bought the quilt, first of all, because it was to help support the cause for Alzheimer research and stuff, but also I just loved this yellow color, and I forgot how much I liked it. I put it away years ago and forgot to take it back out, and so now it is done. Yay! So quilt number 1 done, bound, quilted, everything. And then the next door neighbor had a baby, Milo. So this is just a yellow brick road, real easy. And it's quilted, but the binding isn't done yet. Look at the backing fabric. Isn't that cute? It has little tents on it. It says you have reproduction fabrics from 25 years ago. Nice, nice. All right, so that's quilt number 2. And then this one is actually a quilt for me that I made as a table runner last year, and I didn't forget about it. I just put it away when the winter came. Andy is selfishly, I made Andy a quilt too. Apparently I haven't done that in a while. He's bringing it over so I can show it off. So I'll get there in a minute. So this is my table runner that's on my table upstairs, and now the quilt, this is the lap quilt, is quilted, but I have to show you guys what I absolutely love right now. Look. It's Tula extra wide backing fabric, guys. Look at the scale. I love it. So this just makes me happy. So this is quilted, not bound yet. Working on it, probably tomorrow. And then there's another baby girl next door. That's right, lots of babies. And that one, oh, here comes Rogue. Can you guys see him? This shop dog Rogue, he always has to be in the shot. So this is another baby girl quilt with that cotton and steel. It's subtly pink because everybody was like, they want like a primitive, neutrally, so it's cute, isn't it? So this one's done and just needs binding. Okay, here's Andy's because he wants to make sure I show it. All right, so this is the Sasquatch quilt that I posted about. Can you guys see it? Do you guys see the Sasquatch? It's a, what's her name? Elizabeth Hartman, I believe is her name. And it's called Legendary. That's the name of the pattern. And I actually made two this last season. One for some of our BFFs in Idaho. And then this one's Andy's. And I used this awesome Minky on the back. He's pretty funny. He insisted that it be all soft. And I think he's thanked me every day since I had it done for him. So as you can see, just a few quilts I've been working on. When I get in this kind of stay at home tunnel kind of mode, I can, you know, crack things out every day. So that part's been kind of fun. So I thought I would go over my my quarantine quilting tips. I think a little levity in times like this is okay. I'm absolutely not insensitive to people's financial struggles and their health struggles right now, but a little levity helps make a hard situation. I just saw, sorry, on Facebook, Lisa, hi Lisa Meadows. A good friend of ours he wants a quilt like Andy's Sasquatch quilt, and I won't do it. He's trying to buy it from me right now. Not happening, Chris Holt, not happening. All right, so 7 quilting tips from the doc. That's me. First and foremost, stay home, stay healthy. In these weird times, it's important to quarantine in our homes. This is a good thing for us quilters. Hello, unobstructed quilting time. I mean, come on. Number 2 is time at home equals time to service your Singer Featherweight. Okay, so this is a little bit of a shameless plug, so I apologize. But if you got nothing better to do, pull out your featherweight and go over the oil and lubrication points, service the motor. I've got kits that were supposed to go to classes that were canceled, sitting here ready to go. And we're doing free shipping right now on the website. So call me up, go online, order what you need. I do have a little bit of a coming attraction. This Wednesday, I'm doing another live event at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to go over all of the oil and lubrication ports on the machine. There is so many of them. And if you guys have taken a class with me or some other, featherweight boss across the country, I'm sure it went in one ear and out the next. I know it did for me when I was still learning. So we're going to go over all of the points on the machines on Wednesday Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Okay, but on Facebook, Insta, and YouTube. All right, third quarantine quilting tip: be positive. This stems from some conversations that I've had with clients and family this last week. I think that in times like this, we could choose to focus on all of the negative and the horrific things going on, or we could choose to focus on the positives. So if you're a quilter and you like to have TV on in the background or music on in the background, don't sit on the news networks. All they do is they get paid for ratings by sensationalizing negative press. And I'm not saying don't stay informed. For the love, stay informed. But don't dwell on all of the negative stuff. Put on some music, some uplifting music or some techno, so you'd be quilting really fast. The next one, let's just stay positive as a quilting community, as a featherweight quilting community. Okay, fourth tip. Do something for someone else. I think that this goes hand in hand with number 3. There are tons of new initiatives for sewists and quilters for making masks and hospital gowns. If something kind of monotonous, like making the same thing over and over again, doesn't float your boat, then make a quilt for the new baby across the street. I just showed you 2. We have a baby across the street and a baby next door, and I made little quilts for both of them. Just do something for someone else. Make a comfort quilt for a friend going through treatments. Because let's face it, people who have cancer and going through treatments, they still have to go to the hospital. They still have to continue on with their treatments, even though it's really scary out there right now to go to the hospital. So do something for someone else. Quilting quarantine tip number 5. If you're just cannot figure out what to quilt, pull out a UFO. Just like I did this week. I got that 11-year-old UFO done. If you need stuff for the projects, go out and support the small businesses. I can guarantee they're not going to be part of any kind of a government bailout. So if they have an online presence, order from them. We have here in the Pacific Northwest lots of great shops that are all still shipping online only. Go ahead and throw some of your quilting budget their way to your local shops. Okay, number 6, appreciate this time to slow down and understand that I'm really speaking to myself in this whole thing. It says, I've been thinking quite a bit about this the last couple weeks. I often run at a marathon pace. Totally true. This mandated downtime has made me look around and be grateful for the simpler things in my life. I am thankful for my family being sequestered with me. To be with them is a joy. And I am thankful for my hobby. Without quilting, it would be a difficult time. I am thankful for my business and all of my featherweight friends. It's a joy to be your featherweight doctor, I wrote in the newsletter. It says, number 7, my last quarantine quilting tip, number 7 is you are not alone. I think it would be pretty easy to feel siloed during this quarantine, but everyone feels the same way. Reach out by phone or video chat. Call your daughter, call your son, your mom, your dad, or a fellow quilting friend. And if you don't have anybody else to call me. I'll talk your ear off about these little sewing machines. There's lots of free technology on your computer and your cell phone to communicate. And because of that, we can all get through this season together. So those are my 7 quarantine quilting, say that 10 times fast, tips for this season. So I wanted to give you guys some actual hands-on information while I had you on the camera, and we've gotten a lot of questions this week from people about belt adjustments. So let's talk about the machines for a second. I'm gonna reposition my cameras here, there, and there. Okay, so this is my cotton candy pink featherweight. She's a 1950. Isn't she adorable? Thanks, Ray, for answering that question for me. Okay, so the belt is exterior here on the black. Typically, this is a black machine. On the white machines, there is an external belt like this and also an internal belt that you can't do anything about. It's on the inside of the machine. But the black machines are steel-driven assemblies, and so there's only a single belt here on the outside. You'll know that your belt needs to be changed when it looks like this. I'm just kidding. This was actually a belt that was on a machine that showed up at one of my seminars. And we couldn't even test the machine, obviously. There's no reason to ever let your belt get to this point. The things that you want to look for in your belt is whether it has cracks in it or if it is starting to be threadbare in some places. That belt needs to be changed. It also can feel like a limp spaghetti noodle. The new belts, these are the black V belts that we carry on the website for $9.95. They're robust and they feel like they have some life to them. So if you haven't changed your belt out in a while, I highly recommend you do that. And we're going to do another video later on this week on how to change out your your belt. So stay tuned for that announcement. I'm thinking probably Friday, because Wednesday is going to be the oil and lubrication points. So anyway, this is what a new belt looks like. This is what a bad belt looks like. All right. Oh, I just got a thing to say hi to the Everett Quilt Show ladies. Hello. I don't know if it's Doreen or what's the other lady's name. I can't remember. Hi. All right. So the belt adjustment. So you'll know it's time to adjust your belt when your belt starts slipping around quite a bit. And for those of you who, what that specifically means is you hit the gas pedal on your featherweight and you can hear it run, but the head doesn't move. Nothing happens. It means your belt is too loose. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to spin this around here. Actually, what I'm going to do so I don't blind y'all is unplug the power. All right. So the screw that you are looking for is right here where my finger is. You guys can see that there, oh, there, right here. You'll want a screwdriver that is long enough to get past the neck of the sewing machine. So this is one of the screwdrivers that we sell on our website, and it actually comes in a 4-pack. So here's the other 4 screwdrivers. And I believe we still have them on sale from the holidays for $43.24. These are pretty dang amazing screwdrivers. The reason Andy always says that the right tool makes any job easier. Totally true. And these screwdrivers make everything working on your featherweight easier. So they're all specifically for certain things, but the one that we're most concerned with at this point is this red one, which is actually an electrician's screwdriver. The reason why we want to use an electrician's screwdriver is not because we're worried about any type of an electrical shock, but because it's coated. Because what you're going to do, let's see here, push this way, is you're going to put it up against the neck of the machine like so, and then it's coated so that it doesn't scratch up the paint, either black or whatever color you happen to have in front of you, like cotton candy pink. But anyway, to adjust this from slipping, you're going to loosen this screw, so lefty loosey, and then lower a minute amount your pressure against the belt to the pulley at the end of the motor. So you just want to give it a little bit better contact so it grips. Now there's a bit of a dance here, friends. You want to make sure it is tight enough to get a good grip, but not too tight, because too tight puts additional load on your motor, and then that will eventually lead to your motor not lasting as long as it should. So you don't want to over tighten it either. You just want to get enough of a tension on the belt so that it drives the machine forward, but doesn't wear the machine motor out, if that makes sense. So this is the adjustment right here. So if you start sewing and nothing happens, the head isn't moving or anything, it's because your belt is too loose and you want to lower it. Now, if you notice that it seems like the motor sounds like it's under load, or your machine slowed down, it might be because your belt is too tight, too much contact, too much pressure, and so then you're going to loosen the same screw, but you're going to move it up instead of moving it down. So that is how you adjust the belt tension. It's a bit of a dance. It might take a couple of times to get it right, but you want to make sure that, like for me, I would prefer to have a little bit of slippage, knowing, ooh, goodness gracious, hold on, there, okay. Knowing that I'm not putting extra load on my motor, and I might have to encourage my hand wheel a couple of times to get it to take off, but it's still better than overweighting the motor. So that is the belt adjustment. Again, Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to go over all of the oil and lubrication points on the motors. If for those of you joining that have been part of my classes that have all been canceled, I'm looking forward to rescheduling them very soon so I can be with my people. Shows have been canceled. I just got notice that the big Everett show in Everett, Washington was canceled until next year because of all this, and which, you know, we're very sad about. But I was telling my husband the other night before we were going to bed that I just think next year's quilt shows are going to be so off the charts amazing. You can't sequester women with this type of talent into a room and not have something absolutely amazing come out as a result of it. So I'm looking forward to all of these rescheduled shows next year. I think that's all I have. If you haven't already, like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram, and you can subscribe to us on YouTube. My husband would be very impressed that I got all of that. Oh, and if nothing else, go out to my website and subscribe to our newsletter. We're going to be much more on top of getting those out regularly. So anyway, I just wanted to thank everybody for joining me. This is Darlene with Featherweight Doctor, and I hope everybody has a great Sunday night. Thanks.